Good morning. I think it's time for another vid on the telephones. I know I haven't been putting anything up for a couple of few days. I haven't been that well actually. Had this blasted gout, which is really horrible. I've still got a bit of gout now. So I sort of feed myself with paracetamols. Anyhow, let's get back to the telephones. Now this is, you probably recognise it, originally was by Ericsson's, and it's, let me get the name right, it's a Dialog type of phone. Dialog. Sorry, I feel a bit not 100% today, so please excuse me if I make any mistakes. But this one, I think it was made by Ericsson's, but it was made for Teli, which is Televerket, which is the Swedish equivalent, I suppose, to our British telecoms. They are, or were, the operating company which dealt with all telecommunications in Sweden. I don't think it exists now, but anyhow, this was one of their phones. No indication of Ericsson's on this phone. I'll turn it over and see what it's got on the back. It's a very well made phone actually. It's typical of the Dialog type phone by Ericsson's, but this one has not got the Ericsson's name on it. It's got the name Teli, which is obviously a name of Televerket, which is, you can see their trademark there. That's a Televerket trademark. There's your number. 77 refers to the year. And these phones have got a long number with them, but that is one which is obviously, that number there refers to the model number. Yeah, very well made phone actually. You've got your bell sound minimum, maximum. And as you can probably see, not a screw in sight. We'll turn it over and have a look. When I first went to take the cover off, I thought, oh, how do you take the cover off? Because this one I've had for quite a while, and I haven't really looked at it inside. And I thought, well, how do you take the cover off? Anyhow, the secret was soon found out. Here is the case, and under there, or in there, is a little screw. And it's got two little lugs which hold the one side of the base, and the screw comes out there, which is captive, and screws on to, I'll turn it over, this part there. Although this is 1977, it's in very good nick. I haven't taken the dial off. Quite frankly, I don't know how you do take it off. But as you can see, the actual circuit board is not held on with a screw. It seems to be held on by clips. As I said, not a screw in sight. So it's a well-designed phone actually. Got a single coil bell. I understand these bells are high impedance. There's no indication of what the impedance is or the ohmage of the bells. There's no diagram either, which is unfortunate, but they'll probably get a diagram. What I would notice on here is the dial. It's a funnied one. You've got numbers all into, what's it? You've got 0 up there, and you've got 9 down there. So it's it doesn't line up with any of, I would say, the normal type of dials. Obviously it would dial out as the normal dial, but for the use in Sweden, which these were made for, this is what they use, or used. I think you'll find out it's a typical Ericsson style of dial. As I say, I haven't taken it out. There's the dial, or the back of it, with the cover. Very well made phone, actually. And in very good nick. Although it's 77, it looks brand new. It is well thought out. What else can I say about it? Not much more, I think I more or less said it all. There's your induction coil. It's also quite a hefty made job with its clips to the base. As I said before, it's not a screw in sight. Very sturdy, well made phone. You've got your contacts, the cradle strings down there, and they're in a plastic case. So yeah, well made. Now leaving the phone part, and have a look at the handset. There's the handset. Now the handset is not typical of the Dialog type. It varies in one way, and that is the transmitter. Beautifully designed. There's your contacts in there. There's the insert with two contacts which marry up to the contacts there. There's also a date on there, 77. That is the transmitter or the microphone. No name on it at all. I would say this was certainly made by Ericsson. And the cover is slightly different as well. You've got that type of cover, which that part does vary from the normal Dialog, which is quite a nice thing. The other end, the other side, is your receiver. And this, I believe, is the same as you would find. There's the trademark again there. Use, turn him round and show. But that is their typical trademark. This phone was, I understand, was sort of based on the American 500 type. Very easy to take the cover off, unlike our 706s, which are rather fiddly and they don't always come off cleanly, but this one comes off beautifully. The dial, as I say, is typical of the dials in Sweden. I believe I've even got an Erica phone with this type of dial numbering, and a wall phone. So it's obviously was quite a popular form of dial numbering used in Sweden. Now, what else was I going to say? I think that's more or less it. Oh, I'll show you the type of plug also. This was obviously used in Sweden. I've never tried this phone, but I would think it probably works. You've got your number there as well. Yeah, I think that's more or less all I've got to say about this phone, I believe the phone was brought out in '62 and Televerkets used it in Sweden from, I think, later on, so it was past 62, probably 69. But don't quote me on dates, because I said before, I'm number blind, and if you were to say the date was 1066, I'd probably think it's probably right, which is obviously a load of rubbish. But there we are. Nice, well-made phone, very sturdy, no frills as regards line balance or anything like that. You've just got your basic bits which are important: induction coil, bell and capacitors, and of course a good quality dial, because these Ericsson dials were very good quality. I think you'll find this is the same type of movement, dial movement, as used in the Ericaphone or the Cobra phone, as some people call them. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. I'll pop this up. So once again, thanks. Any comments, please, man. I know I haven't got back with some of the previous comments. I will. It's just that I haven't been feeling too well. I've also had trouble setting my satellite TV up. It suddenly failed, as I said. I believe I mentioned it on the last video. And there was a direct short on the coax from the receiver to the dish. And I scratched my head. I disconnected it at the dish, and the short was still there. So it was obviously something had affected the wire, the coax. And it wasn't until just the other day, well, not yesterday, day before yesterday, that I noticed the wire had been gnawed, probably by a squirrel or a fox, and it had to be redone. So I re-terminated it, and it was as good as gold. But in the meantime, I picked up another satellite receiver, thinking it was that had gone wrong, and of course it wasn't. So I've got that one and a spare. But I'm also upgrading to a modern receiver. I can't pronounce the word Nagami, or it's a funny name. Okay, from China, but it's bang up to date, and it deals with high quality. It's 4K and HDMI and all that, because my old ones didn't take that. They took the old SCART type fittings, which are a bit old fashioned now, and our BBC has decided to not support the older sets when they go over to high definition or HMI. So it's killing two birds with one stone. So we'll see what happens. I might do a video on the actual satellite receiver. It's important. Well, to me, it's important to have this because I can pick up other stations from abroad, which is a relief when all our stations seem to deal with bloody sport. Excuse my French. And it's nice to be able to turn over, perhaps pick up the antiques programs pushed out by the Germans, which is very interesting. Okay, I can't understand a word they're saying, but it's still very interesting and gives you an idea of how much they pay for their antiques. So it is very interesting. And while we're on that, we'll give a plug to the bidding room, which is now being shown, and also, I suppose, a spin-off where their experts are visiting France, and their flea markets over there. Once again, very, very interesting. These programs are put up by Warner TV, which, as I say, was a spin-off from the German Bears for Rare, which is very popular, and that's the one I watch in the mornings. So anyhow, getting back to this phone, sorry for the delay in putting stuff out. Thanks to all those that have put comments on. I will get back to you. Just give me a little bit of time. And I'm going to shut up now because I've been talking too long. So once again, thanks for watching. Thank you.